Now let's talk about some strategies here with our guests Ashish Chaturmotha and Amar Singh here. Amar, let's start first with you. What's the take on Nifty and Bank Nifty both, but especially where actually we are right now in terms of futures, both Bank Nifty and Nifty perhaps. What's a good strategy, and you would be actually advising actually better to go in the futures, or perhaps you think it's better to wait for some sort of pullback here?
Yeah, I would say that the move that we witnessed yesterday on expiry day towards the end of closing, we'll have to watch out whether there is a follow-through and there is a sustain above, say for example, for Nifty that level would be around 10,760, 10,780, because that's going to act as an immediate resistance for Nifty, and sustaining above that level will only decide the next up move, because the move in terms of Nifty and what we witnessed in terms of Bank Nifty, clearly Bank Nifty was more on the back of the HDFC Bank major rally. So we'll have to watch out, and also if you look at the overall breadth of the market, advances versus decline, so that was not very comforting in the sense the way we witnessed the rally yesterday. So I would say that one should really, because it's the first day of the month, so and then I would say that one should have a slightly cautious approach today and see how the market closes. And also even looking at the global cues, we are witnessing some tepid as well as sideways movement. So I would say that better one should stay cautious. As far as Nifty is concerned, I would say 10,780, 10,800, that should act as an immediate strong resistance, whereas on the downside now it's going to be 10,570, 10,600, that should act as an immediate support for Nifty.
Right. Amar, what are your stock recommendations for today?
I would say the first is a buy call on Infosys. Looking at Infosys on a long-term chart, if I'm looking at the long-term, that is the monthly chart, it continues to be extremely strong. And even from the short-term perspective, overall Infosys looks quite attractive. So any pullback in Infosys towards 1220, 1225 levels, that can be a buying opportunity. The stop loss needs to be at 1198 with a target of 1278 in the short term. The next stock to look at is Hindustan Unilever. What we are witnessing in Hindustan Unilever is that Hindustan Unilever continues to trade extremely strong, and overall technically looking at the charts, the long term as well as the medium term charts, they continue to display strength. So any pullback towards 1590, 1585, that can be a buying opportunity with a stop loss of 1554 and a target of 1686 on the upside. And the third stock to look at is Bank of Baroda. What we are witnessing in Bank of Baroda is that there is some selling pressure in Bank of Baroda. So any pullback towards 139, 140 can be used as a selling opportunity with a stop loss of 143 and a target of 131 on the downside.
Right. Well,
let's talk about a couple of interesting stocks here. Number one, PVR. Currently in a downtrend again if you look at the structure here, but the stock actually saw good long rollovers, 90% versus 6-month average of 81% here. Couple of good movies again getting released in June month here. So how's this stock looking to you? And number two, how's Britannia looking to you? Last hour again, strong rally, strong moves again. The stock again has seen some good sort of build up here. So both the stocks, how are they looking to you?
I would say first talking about PVR. PVR has been on the long-term charts. If you look at the long-term charts, it's been trading completely in a range. If we look at the range, so the range on the downside is somewhere around 1200 to 1220 on the downside. That's as a very strong support zone, but it's unable to breach the 1440, 1450. So we are seeing PVR consistently trading in a range, and also from a short-term perspective, we've seen it sell off from almost 1450 levels to currently around 1320. But yes, it is finding some support around. Will find some support around 1280 to 1300 levels. So that could be some buying opportunity, but one needs to be aware that this stock is not going anywhere in the short term. So it's basically a range play for PVR. Talking about the other stock which you mentioned, Britannia. So in terms of Britannia Industries, if you look at the chart, again it's more on the likes of, I would say, Hindustan Unilever, because the technical trend, if you look at it, is extremely strong across different time frames, and the stock has been on a consistent one side up move. So yes, any pullback should be used as a buying opportunity in Britannia. Still the trend remains up, but yes, it's been trading in overbought zone for now many months. I would say since, if you look on the charts, since last year it's been trading technically in overbought zone, and in spite of that it has been correcting, but again bouncing back. So the levels to watch out for Britannia would be on the downside. Immediate short-term support for Britannia is around 5600 odd levels, 56 to 5650. Whereas on the upside, I would say the high that was made yesterday, 6015, that should act as an immediate resistance for Britannia. But any pullback can be used as a buying opportunity.
Right, and also 2-3 stocks more, Amar. One is Tata Steel again. Goods high, very high rollovers, about 91% versus 6-month average of 79% here. But then we actually heard that news of steel tariffs coming from US. So again, the European subsidiary will have exposure in terms of exports to US markets here. So how is the steel counter looking to you? And along with Tata Steel, perhaps JSW Steel, how is that stock also looking to you?
I would say, looking at Tata Steel, what we are seeing in Tata Steel is that somewhere Tata Steel is finding very strong support around 540, 550 odd levels. Currently it's around 577 or so. So, but technically on the charts it's clearly reflecting that again upside is going to meet with selling pressure or resistance. So the level to watch out for Tata Steel on the upside is 595, 600. That should act as an immediate resistance. But yes, the downside definitely seems limited. Talking about the other stock which you mentioned, Jindal Steel. So if I'm looking at Jindal Steel and Power, so here if I look at it here, the long-term charts are, I would say, still the trend remains positive, but on the medium term as well as the intermediate term trend, clearly they reflect that there is some selling pressure on the downside. It has got some strong support in the range of 210, 220. So again, it's a range play because till the time it does not take out to 50 to 60 on the upside, is going to be again a range play. So from the metal space, I would say that it's more of a range play right now. There's no trend in the making.
Right. We also have the Sandeep Shenoy joining. Amar, how are some of these metal stocks looking? A trading opportunity on any of those names?
I would say if I'm looking at Vedanta, so Vedanta, what we are seeing is that it is witnessing, it continues to witness some selling pressure, and somewhere or the other it has some support around 235, 240 odd levels. But again, any pullback towards 250, 758, that would be used as a shorting opportunity. It is moving in oversold territory on the weekly and as well as the daily chart, so that reflects that some short-term support is there, but the trend remains quite weak for Vedanta. What I saw for Jindal Steel, there the long-term trend still was positive. Tata Steel also, if I was looking at it, that was more or less a range play, but Vedanta continues to be on a sell mode. So any pullback can be used as a shorting opportunity. So and the stop loss has to be above 266, and the target on the downside can be around 225 to 225 levels on the downside.
Ashish, what would you be doing with?
Amar, what would be your take on Escorts here? The numbers, the auto sales numbers are looking a beat here. Number two, again, since the tractor numbers are looking good here, how is M&M also looking to you? Perhaps there could be some rub-off effect also here.
First, talking about Escorts, the long-term trend definitely remains intact, and overall it continues to display strength. But what we are witnessing in the intermediate term as well as the short term is that upside it's meeting with selling pressure, and also some profit booking has set in. So anywhere between 950, 960, that's acting as a immediate level of resistance, and there we've been witnessing some profit booking. So yes, it did move into oversold territory, and there was a bounce back from almost 850 odd levels. But I would say upside is going to meet with resistance, as I said, somewhere between 960, 970, that should act as a resistance level. So the risk reward ratio is not in favor of buying Escorts right now. Any pullback towards 900 levels, odd levels, then one can look at buying opportunity. Otherwise, one should wait for Escort. As far as the M&M which you talked about, Mahindra and Mahindra, overall looking at Mahindra and Mahindra has a different chart altogether. It definitely is extremely strong on the charts. So I would, if one wishes to buy, one should go for Mahindra and Mahindra. The trend is extremely strong. Any pullback should be used as a buying opportunity. Immediate support for Mahindra is in the range of 875, 880. That should act as a very strong support zone for Mahindra and Mahindra. So the stop loss needs to be below that, and any pullback towards, I would say, 880, one can look at initiating long positions in Mahindra and Mahindra with a target of 945 on the upside.
Yeah, we've got about 30 seconds to go as we gear up for trade this morning. Well, Amar, have you identified anything in the first 10 minutes of market opening? Any counters you'd be looking to trade on this morning?
I would say that there are two stocks one can look at. One is from the IT space, that is KPIT. Because technically, if you look at KPIT, it continues to be strong on the charts, and any pullback towards 270, 72 odd levels, that can be a good buying opportunity with a stop loss of 263 and a target of 295 on the upside. And the second stock to look at it from is from the banking space, that is SBI. We've seen some sharp up move in SBI, and it seems to be consolidating, and the short term as well as the medium term trend, short term trend definitely remains positive, and the medium term trend is also showing some signs of consolidation with a positive bias. So any pullback towards 264, 65, that can be used as a buying opportunity with a stop loss below 260 and a target of 279 on the upside.
Just get ICICI Bank back on the... Thanks for that, Ashish, Sandeep and Amar for joining in this morning. That's the word coming in the street. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you next week.